So I guess Buzbee has dropped a lawsuit against Diddy, guys. So he announced on his IG page today the Buzbee law firm filed another lawsuit in New York State court alleging sexual assault and battery against Sean P. Diddy Combs. Several other defendants are named in the lawsuit to include Bad Boy Records. The case is brought on behalf of a plaintiff, John Doe, who was a 23-year-old aspiring performer at the time of the alleged assault. This new case alleges defendant Combs attended a show at a venue in Los Angeles where plaintiff, along with several others, was to perform. Combs' purpose for attending was not only to promote his affiliated company, Ciroc Vodka, but also there because his record company, Bad Boy, had an interest in some of the performers at the show. According to the lawsuit, after plaintiff performed at the venue, Combs reached out to meet him, subsequently leading plaintiff to believe that he would receive a record deal. The case asserts that Combs lured the plaintiff backstage after the show, where plaintiff was allegedly drugged and assaulted. This is one of more than 10 additional cases that will be filed over the next 7 to 10 days against Combs and his affiliates and or associates. So let's stop right here. He is saying here this is one of more than 10 additional cases. So we're expecting to see more new filings, I guess, in the next couple of days. Because there is a looming deadline for cases to be filed in New York City, I would expect more cases will be filed by our firm prior to the end of February. So we are going to see Buzbee hustling, okay, to file as many cases as possible. Now, guys, shout out to Diddy Docket who gave me a copy of the lawsuit that just dropped today. Again, this is pertaining to a John Doe. We're just going to review a couple things here and there. You guys know how Buzbee does his lawsuits. Basically, they're like copied and pasted from other things, and certain facts clearly are changed. Diddy's MO is always the same: drugging and then assaulting, drugging and then assaulting. Okay. And then there's this promise of careers, which I think should be noted is also the case here. Okay, let's keep going into this lawsuit. So, defendants Combs assaulted a 23-year-old man at an after party in Los Angeles. This case seeks impunitive damages for sex assault. The assault took place at a music venue after defendant Sean Combs promised Doe a record deal with Bad Boy Entertainment and studio time with Combs himself. The conduct described herein is shockingly typical of how defendant Sean Combs conducted himself for many years. Many individuals and entities facilitated and conspired with this abhorrent conduct. Sean Combs believes he is above the law. He is not. Okay, so we are going to move forward because what they list is his businesses, the alleged predatory history of Sean Combs, which we've talked about. They outline the indictments and basically other lawsuits that have been placed on Diddy. So here we have the parties. This is a John Doe who's a male who resides in California. And here are the fact allegations. In 2015, a music performer pursuing a career as a rapper and singer actively sought opportunities to establish himself in the music industry. In 2015, his career had started, gaining momentum. In that year, he received multiple invitations to open for well-known artists at venues across California. During the time, Doe secured an opportunity to perform as an opener for a popular musical artist at a series of nightclub appearances in Los Angeles. One of these performances was scheduled to take place at QC's 2020 in Southeast Los Angeles. At the event, Combs did not plan to perform, but attended anyways, as his record company had an interest in the show. Combs and his team provided hundreds of bottles of his own Ciroc vodka, which was distributed at the venue. Before Doe's performance, a longtime and well-known associate of Combs told Doe that Combs had heard of his talent and would be watching him perform. The associate specifically told Combs that if he performed well, Combs would discuss getting a deal with Bad Boy Records and arrange studio time between him and Combs. Excited by the opportunity, Doe performed his set and believed he put on an excellent performance. Later that night, Doe attended the after party at QC's 2020. The party took place in the back of the club, which had separate break rooms. While in the VIP section, he recognized other well known artists and entertainers, many of whom were partaking in drugs. The section also contained countless of bottles of Combs vodka Ciroc, provided by Combs and the Bad Boy Records, along with these substances such as marijuana, cocaine, and ecstasy. An associate of Combs handed Doe a Ciroc-based alcohol beverage, said to be from Combs himself. After drinking it, Doe quickly felt lightheaded and began slipping in and out of consciousness. It became clear to him that something was wrong. He realized he had been drugged and soon lost total consciousness. A photograph of an actual container used by Combs and his agents employees to insert GHB into the alcoholic drink is seen below. We've seen these pictures before. It shouldn't be a surprise to us. Again, they were taken from other, I guess, lawsuits. Now, again, I have a lot of questions about these pictures, these specific devices that, again, have been used in other lawsuits to explain the drugging and the, I guess, devices that are used. My questions are, have these been identified by every John and Jane Doe that are bringing lawsuits forward, like the Buzbee law firm? Because in the other lawsuits that have been filed against Diddy from the other firms, we don't see this. So what is it about this specific device and a medical device, my understanding, and are we going to get some clarity from it? What do you guys think? Because it's the same picture that's been used. Has this device specifically been identified by the John and Jane Doe victims of all of these lawsuits? And if so, are the other John and Jane Does from other law firms seeing the same thing that we've been shown by Buzbee? I'm curious. I'm really curious about it. While drifting in and out of consciousness, Doe observed Combs and his entourage engaging in group sexual activity, often with other attendees who appeared either drugged, unconscious, or as if they were paid escorts. Doe believed most of the men participating in these sexual activities belonged to Combs' entourage. At one point, Doe regained consciousness from a physical jolt and found Combs grabbing his crotch while his pants had already been removed. Combs was groping him. Doe believed that Combs had been performing oral sex on him because his area was noticeably wet. After regaining consciousness and realizing the dangers he was in, Combs attempted to fight off, but Combs' security team stepped in. Combs threatened Doe, stating that he could easily contact his manager and ruin any chances he had of succeeding in the music industry if he did not comply. So his security team is named in this lawsuit, and this was in 2015. Whoever those individuals were. Terrified and realizing he was far outnumbered by Combs' security, Doe pretended to comply for his own safety. Combs then ordered Doe to have sex with a woman he did not know while Combs wanted to watch. Doe pretended to agree but made an excuse, claiming he needed water to use the restroom before he could engage in sex. Combs allowed his security team to let Doe up to use the restroom. Doe used this opportunity to sneak out of the venue, make his way to the parking lot, jump into his car, which he had driven to the show, and drive off. So I'm assuming by then maybe the drugs had worn off because he's driving now. As a result of Combs' sexual assault, Doe experienced damages including pain and suffering, mental anguish, physical impairment, and emotional torment. Further, his assault greatly affected Doe's passion for music, leading him to abandon his aspiration for many years. The reality and dark underbelly of the industry, as revealed through his encounter with Combs, ended his desire and dreams to pursue a career in that world. Because of Combs' power and notoriety, Doe was afraid to immediately report what had happened and did not want to be blackballed by the industry. Doe became yet another sexual assault victim of Combs through the same pattern of abuse of influence in Combs' exercise over others previously. And the actions are listed there. Of course, sexual battery. We're not going to read through this. The biggest thing is, the alleged facts. All right. And again, this is being filed by the Buzbee law firm. Guys, let me know what you guys think about this new lawsuit that has just dropped. I just wanted to do a quick little video. And I mean, really wanted to report the facts. I feel like we're going to hear a lot more of this. But you guys, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.